Old age, as commonly perceived, is the time to rest after a lifetime of dedication. But for many, it's a phase filled with quiet worries: how to live safely, who will care for them when their health declines, and whether the remaining years will still be filled with laughter or simply a series of lonely days behind the doors of a nursing home. Many people assume that nursing homes are the optimal solution, with medical staff, clean facilities, and standardized meal plans. But behind that polished facade lies a silent sadness, a quiet ache from those who live far from their families, removed from familiar arms, slowly losing connection to the life that once defined them. Because humans, especially at the twilight of their lives, need more than medicine and a soft bed. What they deeply long for is the feeling of being loved, of belonging, of still being themselves, not just another name on a health chart. That's why the pressing question arises: are there better, more sustainable, more humane alternatives to nursing homes? The answer is absolutely yes, and not just one, but 6 practical solutions that are not only cost-effective, but also preserve the essential human connection between people, between body and soul, between aging and the joy of being alive. This journey we're about to embark on won't be filled with dry theory. Instead, it will be a path shaped by real-life stories, heartfelt insights, and lessons gathered from thousands of families around the world, people who have chosen a different path, and in doing so have found peace for their elderly loved ones and warmth for younger generations. In this first part, I won't jump straight into listing solutions. Instead, I invite you to pause and reflect: what exactly are we facing in our modern world, especially in the way society manages aging? Because before we find the right answers, we must understand the root of the problem. Let's start with the changing structure of the modern family. In the past, multiple generations often lived under one roof, and caring for elderly parents was a natural flow of filial piety. But now, with urbanization, career demands, education, and geographic distances, that model has fragmented into separate households. Parents live in rural areas, children work in cities, and visits shrink to holidays and special occasions. When parents begin to weaken, the looming question arises: who will take care of mom and dad now? In that silence, the nursing home often appears as the convenient solution. Some call it safe, others say it's thoughtful, but few dare to admit that many elderly people cry quietly when they step into these places, not because of poor conditions, but because their hearts feel the growing distance between themselves and everything they once knew. Perhaps the most painful thing isn't where they're sent, it's the feeling that they've become a burden. People who once built homes, raised children, provided strength, now feel quietly transferred to another space where they're no longer at the center of anyone's world. This is not just an emotional issue, it's a wake-up call about morality, about human value, and about the way our society functions. We can build luxurious buildings for the elderly, but what they truly need is a home. We can hire caregivers, but what they deeply crave is presence, a gentle glance from a loved one, a hand to hold in the quiet of the night. This is why I want to share with you 6 alternatives, solutions that are more humane, more affordable, and more joyful than nursing homes. Not to completely discredit those institutions, but to help you see that there are many other paths, more beautiful, more connected, and above all, paths that allow old age to remain a treasured part of life, not a chapter of quiet waiting. From smart multi-generational living to elder co-housing communities, from personalized in-home care to programs that nourish the spirit, each of these 6 solutions will be revealed in the next parts. But all are centered around one unshakable truth: old age should not be lonely, marginalized, or dismissed, but cherished, respected, and included, allowing our elders to live with dignity, freedom, and joy. If you're in the prime of life or have aging parents or loved ones approaching their final years, this content is for you. Not just advice, but an invitation to walk with me through each solution, not just to learn, but to truly see old age in a new light, not dim, not fading, but glowing like a sunset, quiet, yet utterly beautiful. There's something deceptively simple that modern life often forgets. The home, a place where a person has grown up, worked to raise children, can often be the best place to spend old age. That space holds more than furniture. It holds memories. Every brick, every familiar chair breathes time and love. That's why the first solution many families are turning back to is multi-generational living under one roof, not in the rigid traditional sense, but in a thoughtful and modern way. In such a home with grandparents, parents, and grandchildren, each person has a role, and together they create a web of care and connection. The elderly are not isolated. They're part of the family rhythm, cooking with their daughter-in-law, telling stories to their grandchildren, shopping with their son. They are not treated like old people, but seen as vibrant contributors. With careful division of space routines and responsibilities, this model can work beautifully even in modern urban settings. If living together isn't possible, another path opens up specialized in-home care services. Instead of relocating to unfamiliar institutions, the elderly can remain in their beloved homes, receiving visits from well-trained caregivers. This model is thriving in countries like Japan, Germany, and the US, and is expanding across Asia. The beauty here is not just in health support, but in personalized companionship, tailored diets, gentle exercises, emotional support. Importantly, elders in this model aren't bound by strict schedules. They choose what to eat, whether to read or nap, to enjoy the sun or rest indoors. Small choices that preserve a vital sense of freedom. And when family members stay involved, even part-time, the home transforms into a bridge between love and responsibility. But what if family lives far away or is stretched thin? That's when the elder village model shines. In these co-living communities, older adults live near one another, supporting, visiting, and uplifting each other. They might hold morning walks, cooking classes, book clubs, or cultural activities. Most importantly, they don't feel cared for. They feel alive and active part of a bonded community. These communities are more affordable than nursing homes and offer rich social lives which dramatically reduce depression, cognitive decline, and hospital visits. In Nordic countries, this co-housing model has proven transformative, yet not everyone wants community life. Some elders seek privacy, but fear isolation. For them, shared housing with another senior becomes an empowering fourth option. Imagine two widowed individuals choosing to share a home, splitting expenses, and more importantly, sharing companionship. They cook together, laugh together, and simply share life. There's someone to say good morning to, someone to enjoy dinner with. That's often all it takes to turn solitude into joy. Then comes the fifth solution: day centers for seniors. Think of these as day schools for the elderly, places where they can go during the day to enjoy exercise, music therapy, painting, or simply a warm cup of tea and friendly conversation. They return home in the evening uplifted and socially engaged. This model offers both stimulation and structure, ensuring elders aren't left alone all day when family's away. They interact, learn, contribute, maybe by sharing skills or stories from the past. It revives their sense of purpose. It reminds them, I still matter. Lastly, the sixth solution: connecting seniors with volunteers or part-time companions. Many nonprofits, religious groups, and care startups offer this. Seniors can request companionship a few hours a week for grocery shopping, a walk, a friendly chat, or help around the house. These aren't just helpers, they're new friends built on human connection, not medical obligation. Each of these six alternatives, family homes, in-home care communities, shared living day centers, and volunteers, share one thing: dignity. They respect elders as full human beings, not patients. They don't require enormous funds or government policies, just heart. Just people who care enough to act. because sometimes all it takes is a warm meal, a smile, or a listening ear to turn old age from a burden into a blessing. And if you're wondering, can I really do this? The answer is absolutely. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start by asking your parents, how do you want to live? Reflect. What can I do to keep them from feeling isolated? Choose one solution, just one, then build from there. If you are the senior yourself watching this video in a quiet afternoon, I want to say this from the heart. You deserve a joyful, dignified old age. No one has the right to take that away from you. And if you feel like you're being forgotten, please don't stay silent. Speak up. Reach out. Your voice is not a burden. It's a courageous light guiding your family to love you better. Because old age, when lived in connection, is not the end, but the brightest, richest chapter yet. So imagine a world where the elderly are not pushed aside but embraced. A world where silver hair still speaks with wisdom. A society where seniors are not burdens, but keepers of memory, tradition, and truth. That world begins with people like you. People who dare to think differently, people who make the phone call, cook the meal, plan the weekend, people who smile at their parents in a way that says, you're not alone. Those acts repeated daily, weekly, monthly rebuild what aging means. No longer an end, but a reawakening. A softer, deeper, more human way of living. If you've stayed with me until now, thank you. Not for your time, but for your heart. Whether you're miles away from your parents or sitting quietly at home alone, just by thinking about solutions, you're planting seeds of a better future. Old age doesn't ask for much, just not to be forgotten. And yes, you can make sure that never happens. Start today. Be the first in your family to break old assumptions about nursing homes. Open the door to a new journey, a journey of connection, where the final years of life aren't just long, they are meaningful. If this message touched your heart, leave a comment below. Tell us what helped your parents live happier lives, or simply leave a note for someone you love. And if you want more meaningful content about aging gracefully, living well, and staying connected, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It keeps us inspired to keep sharing what matters. Because it's never too late to begin again with love, with hope, and with the belief that happiness, in the end, always belongs to those who dare to live it with an open heart. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming exciting videos.